So let's see what is custom directives. So what is directives? What is the use of directives? How we will point anything, mark anything as a directive? Any idea?
Changing the behavior of DOM, sir.
Yeah.
Appearance.
So there are three type of directive, correct? What was those? Class level a structural, what was that? Component directive, a structural directive,
Component structure attribute.
attribute. So here itself you can see that three type. Okay, component in the sense component itself, a structure in the sense which one? A structure means ng for ng if, ng switch, these all. Okay, next attribute directive. In attribute directive, which is this one? Making that changes with the help of the attribute. Yeah, like a call span. Then in the image many attributes are there, so in that we are changing, so those are comes under the attribute directive. Okay, and with directives a star symbol is there. So with the help of a star symbol only we can identify that is a directives. Not all. In the case of the structural, then attribute ng if, and yeah, in the condition of the ng if we are marking that. So now as we had seen in the pipe case that we can we can design our custom pipe. So if there will be requirement for perform some task on the based on that particular, so what we were doing, we were performing that particular task, okay, with our custom pipe, because we will not get all activity inside one pipe, means inbuilt pipe, correct? So for that purpose what we were doing, we designed our custom pipe, same type in our directives also. Suppose we want to manipulate in the DOM, but we can't do all the task with just inbuilt directives. So what we will do, we will create our custom directive. How we will create, let's see. So what was the command for creating our custom pipe? How we was creating our custom pipe? Any idea? No idea. How we was creating our custom pipe? What was the command? Ng
G.
G P for pipe. Then we had given pipe name, correct? So like that itself, we will go for the custom directive. So what will be the command? So command will be ng G for generate, D for directive, okay, and we will give the directive name. So let's make one directive, that is just I will give cust dir, okay. And let's see what is happening. So it gone created, okay, but when it going to create, it going to update in the app modules also. So what you thinking, where it will update? Inside import, declaration, provider, bootstrap, where that will be? What you thinking? Let's see.
Input.
Where it came? It came in the declaration. In the sense these all are behaving like what? Component, means all the things what we had created, like a pipe. Then we had done the directives, So these all things gone in the which section? Declaration section. And in import section, what we getting? Only and only module. Correct. So after that import, what we will do? We will go in our custom directive. So this is our custom directive. So we will do one thing. We will create one component also. Okay. We will create one component and we will pass this custom directive inside that component itself. Okay. So our component become ready. Let's say move the component, I mean say this directive, this both file, because this came outside inside our custom directive. So where is that? That is cust directive. Okay. I will pass here. Now tell me where is the changes? Whether we will get error or is it fine? What you thinking? Let's see. Let it to be browse and you have to find out the error. Tell me where is the error? Check that.
Custom directive.
Are you getting the error? What? Why we got the error? Yeah, we see that. Where is the error? In which file?
Topic.
Which file?
App.module.ts.
Correct. So see, directly we will highlight on this line. Okay, we're not going to search anywhere. And just how to move to that file? Just by control and press here itself. No need to search that particular file. Okay, you will get automatic. And after that, we will go there. And now see what is the error. Where is the error? It's not coming. Wait. Why it came 2 times? Okay, one is component and one is directive. Okay, fine. So where is the error? So error is in this location itself. What is that error? Anyone having idea? I think it got resolved or what? No, it's there. Okay. So error is due to the custom directive because we had changed the folder name. Correct. Previously it was outside. Now see where we will get that cust directive. After that we will got custom directives. Now save. Let's see whether we getting it or not. Error was not there actually. Auto it had got auto resolved. Okay. So now error got resolved. Fine. Let's move next. Okay. And component. We had created one component. So we have to pass inside where? We have to pass inside app component. Then only it will work. Now come to our directive. So this is our directive component. That's fine. Where is HTML? This is our HTML. Fine. Now let's see what we will do. So let's delete this. Now go to the material. So see in the top, in the top, whatever is written, these all are explanation one by one line. Okay, I will go directly on the examples where we had written. So for the that directive section, we have to use input and output decorator. Okay, at the rate input, at the rate output. What is the use? Why we are using input output? We will see this thing in the that input output topic itself is there. This is using for the parent to child communication. Means you can tell one component to another communication. Means for passing the data from one component to another component with the help of the input and output decorator. Okay. So what we will do, we will import, for making that directive, we have to import this one. But this is inside the directive section. See that. What is the name? That is directive.ts. So we will take this line. Where is that? Yeah. So we will add that line. Import. Next. What is the next changes? So inside the constructor, we had taken one element rep, that is for the reference purpose. So we will take that also. Means for directives, we required two things. One is input output. Second, we want element rep, and second we want input. That's it. Okay. Output it's not required. If you want, you can take. It's not the issue. But that's not used. Second, we will import this one. Where is that constructor? And see one thing. In the constructor, we are passing this value inside the parameter section, not inside the curly braces. Why? Not inside this flower bracket? Because we are injecting that. This is the process of injecting the data. Okay. That's why we are writing inside the parenthesis, not inside the curly braces. That is the way of injecting. So we had imported two things. After that, what we are doing? Wait. We will do one thing. Just to go through this documentation itself, you will get better understanding. So what we're doing here, the Angular has the several inbuilt attribute directives. Let us create a TT class directive which allow us to add class to an element similar to the Angular ng class directive. Already we know that ng class, like that itself. So what we're doing, we are creating one file, name it as ttdirective.ts, import the necessary file that needed. So for directive purpose, what we want two requirement, two import section is required. What is that? That is one is element rep, okay, and second is input. So we already done this both. Next, decorate the class with @directive. Let's see whether it's available or not. So that is available. How it is available? Because we had imported that @directives. So @directive. Here we needed to choose a selector that is a TT class for our directive. We need our directive as a TT directives. That's okay. So up to here, we already done that. Okay. So up to selector part. Next, our directive needs to take class name as input. Whatever class name we are using, that we have to take with the input. And at the input decorator, mark the property TT class as the input property. Means it can receive the class name from the parent component. Means the component which going to use our directive, that will use that, means that will give the data, and with the help of the directive we going to receive that data. Means with the help of @input, we are going to receiving the data that we are doing here. So we can use the same name as the selector name, TT class. So whatever name it is in selector, this section, the same name should be here in input also. Means whatever is there, app cluster data, this name should be inside here, app color change. Okay, it should be like that. Otherwise we will do one thing, we will change that name itself, app color name. After that, what we done? We use the same name as the selector. This will enable us to use the property binding syntax, that is with the button blue. Means we will use that property binding. Let it to be. Then inside the constructor, this section, we attach an attribute directive to element, which we call the parent element. To change the properties of the parent element, we need to get the reference means some reference is required for what purpose? For attaching, for calling the parent element. If we calling the parent element, so how we will call? Something is required. So that is with the help of the element ref. Okay. So the Angular injects the parent element when we ask for the instance of the element ref. That's why what we had done, we had added in the element ref. But why we getting error? So let's resolve the error. What we will do? We will put the cursor and suddenly you will get the blue balloon. Otherwise, maybe if you not getting, put control space, you will get that. Okay. So let's keep the cursor and update import. Some be getting warning. So let's update because we had imported. This is third party library but we had not used here imported. That's why in the input section same thing, click that update import. Now error gone. Fine. So what we done? We done two things. One, import, and second, element ref. That's it in the directive section. Next, what we doing in the ng on init? Inside ng on init, this dot element ref dot, that is el dot native element dot class list dot add something is there. Just come to our code inside ng on init. It's not there. Okay, let add that ng on init. Pass that code, but you will get the error. What error we will get? We had not imported here in the export command. If you will look over component, see that there is implements ng on init, implements and on init. So that we have to do there also. Otherwise, we will get the error. Now we getting error. Import that on init. After that, what is written? In app component.css, take this CSS class. Where is the CSS class? CSS. Next, what we will do? We will just take HTML file. Now see what we had done. What we got? We got the button in the blue color. How we got? Let's see. One more time, I'm going to explain you the code. Here we had taken one button. 1 second. See what we done. We had added one button in the HTML page. Here we are passing some property binding, and then we are passing one class name, that is from the CSS. Here we taken and again the same directives. Okay, same directives and app color change, and the color we had passed, that is red. What is happened? So from the HTML, it gone on the TypeScript page. Now go to the TypeScript page, and same whatever red and blue, this is already the class name. Okay, this is class name. Let's now I will remove this CSS part. Okay, so here be passing app color change. Now move to the component.ts. What we had done here? Had we done anything on the component? So we not done anything. We had not written any line of code. Okay, then where we had written? We had written on the directives. What we had written? The selector name, whatever name is there. We have to, for making directives, we have to do two things. One, we have to use element rep, and second, we have to use input. Okay, so in input, we are going to add that whatever means data you are going to receive from the component level. So what it is doing actually, component.ts, it's not the in the part, only HTML and only this directive file. So here we are passing the data. We are passing here red. Okay, so due to the app color change, it's in the here in the directive section, that is input. Okay, so it is receiving that value, whatever value is there in the app color change, that is coming here. And after that, what we had done, we had used the element rep for the reference purpose. We are injecting that. So what we doing here, this dot el inside the constructor dot native element. So whenever we will write element rep native element, you have to use that. Okay, for referring that element, native element dot class list, we will use this class list. Already that method is there. Then dot add method. Okay, and inside add method, we will pass the directive name. Which directive? Means in the sense, we going to pass here which one? Input one, we which we are receiving from the which one? HTML file, component file, that we are passing here. And what it going to do? It going to apply whatever CSS or whatever style we had done that. So keep in mind, whenever you have to create the directives, you have to use two things. One, you have to create the directives, and in the directive section, you have to import the input. And here in the input method, you have to give the class name, directive name itself. Okay, and second, element rep, this you have to use. And then this all method, that's it. And this method you will get here itself. See, I showing you why writing itself, you will get this method. So we have to take el, take that el dot, we will use native element automatic. The first method itself, we got native element. There is no any another method. Native element dot, check that what are the method we getting. So we not get anything. CLASS class list, then dot, anything we getting? Add. That's not inbuilt method is coming. Let's do one thing. If we not taking this one, and if we passing direct, no, but how we will pass add method? No, it's not. Then we will pass a class list and then dot add method. Okay, for the adding purpose. And then here we are passing that argument. Which argument? We are passing the decorator, that directive name, that is app color change. Got it? This thing we are doing. Then what is happening? Whatever in the CSS we had passed, where is that CSS? Whatever we are passing here, okay, it going to change automatic. The real use of this one, I telling you one thing, where we will use a really. If you have input field, enter email ID. Here you passing that email ID. Okay. If email if suppose email ID is correct, okay, then you will get the message here directly that your email ID is correct. But if that is wrong, you will get message there that email ID is wrong. How you will get? With the we can use that time this directive for changing the color. As condition is satisfying, we are getting that. Clear? Had you got some idea? We will look this more detail when we will learn the form, because we will design the form. That time we will validate that data. That time we will see that how we can use these directives. Had you got some idea or not?
Yes, sir. 50.
So what we had done here, now it's showing red and blue. Suppose that at that time for the success means suppose some error or whether it's correct. So we will use that green or yellow, green or red. So according to condition, we will display the data. Okay. So that time this directives is going to help you a lot. Because see what is going actually, nobody is calling this. Are you taking this one thing? This directive, we are just directly, we are using with HTML file. We are not using anywhere. So if we are not using, do one thing. Constructor is there. Let's add something. And take this app color and check in the constructor. Sorry, in the console, what we are getting. So what we getting now? It's showing undefined. Correct? Because data anyway, data is coming because we are getting that one. But let's do one thing now. Take this and pass here. And now see whether we are getting or here also it's showing undefined. I think there also it will come. No, it's came the value. That's a blue and a red. Now do one thing. Remove this HTML side. Comment this line. And now see that output. What we got? We got only blue. Actually, that is a red. Sorry, that is green actually. But we are getting blue. Why we getting blue? Because nobody is calling the red one. Already we had written the code. We had written the code one time. We are passing some color. It coming here and it going to display, but it displaying that color only. It not displaying the other color because no one is calling. So during error time, nobody will call. Just if error is there, it will automatically come. If there is no error, it will gone. Means how it is called? It is calling due to this property binding. Correct? Because we had written the code only two times, whether on the HTML or second on the this directive. That's it. Clear? Had you got some idea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this we will see in the form section. I will tell that time to use this. Okay. So you will get that idea that how we can use. So in an interview, they are asking how we can create our custom directive and what is the use of the custom directive and how we are using. So you can tell that with the for creating the custom directive, what is the requirement? What we have to import? What are the third packages? So we have to import element rep and one input. Why we are using input? For receiving the data from the parent. We will discuss this thing, input and output, later, not an issue. Then we had used two things. One is element rep and one is input. That's it. And wherever I want this app color change, we will use on that place. See, suppose that go to app component.html and this is gender, let it to be. Okay, now check the data first. What we getting? Be getting some data. What I will do, I will make the color change. What I can do, how I can use that directive? Any idea? Gender type component. Okay, what are you thinking? How I can pass? Suppose that I want this name to be red color. This name to be red color. How I can do? Name, where is that name? Here. Any idea? What we can do? Red or green, anything?
Yeah, sir. Pass their directive name and
Yeah.
pass class name.
Okay. So where is the directive? Yeah. So we will pass this directive. Copy this and pass that directive. And let's see whether it's working or not. What happened? Not working. Is this correct or not? Whether we getting data? Message Radha. Let me verify first whether it's correct or not. Yeah, that's correct. What we had done wrong? It's not doing anything wrong. We are getting here blue 6 times because total 6 data. Custom directives .html. Okay, got it. This color we had passed in particular CSS, particular component, and we are using in that in the gender component. So we have to pass the color, then only it will work. Now we will got that. Got it. Because previously this was not available. So we can do one thing. We can pass this color globally. Where is that style.css? Oh my god, where it gone? Where it is? Okay. Now see, we will get the data because we had passed the CSS data globally. Correct. Got it. So like that, once you done that one, we created one directives in the sense we can use that directive anywhere. There is no any condition. Suppose second row, I want a color red. What we will do? We will take that directives and we will pass there. I want with gender. Let's save. And now see, we will get the red color. Got it. So this is the use of the directive. And not only like a color, we can pass all the things. Okay, because that is a style, but we are just passing the data. That's it. Clear? So there are some different property directive also, like a structural directive, then attribute directive. So different. Creating a structural directive, then same thing will be there. Okay, I showing you the code. Maybe some condition will be, but main thing which is required, that will be same. It will be not more differences. We have to import those all which we going to import. Something, see that it's got change. View container ref, then template ref. Okay. So do one thing. You can go through this document, and whatever new features is there, just add, sorry, just implement, and let's verify what is the changes. Got it? Means we have to know at least one how to create that means directives. That is the main point, because when we will see, we will get many different type of that directives. This item selected,
Sir, please
this
share
data.
this.
Yeah, I will share this code. Just one time, go through that, you will get the idea.
And sir, document also.
Yeah, I will share the document. Just 1 second.